Let's talk about our Flash Pass. So we got our new 7-day mini thing in between our Arc event. It is officer based for the most part. Lursa, Harrison, and Jayla are the three officers that they chose: an uncommon, a rare, and a epic, and an epic. Lursa takes 14 shards to unlock, 55 shards to upgrade. They give you 9. So if you don't have any Lursa shards, this will not be enough to unlock her. And 9, probably not going to be enough to really tier her up. But there are limited ways to. She's actually an officer that doesn't have additional sourcing right now, I don't believe, because the other recruit options for. So the premium pack here, I think, is the only one that she would be in if they added her. Yeah. They didn't add anything and change this pack. This is the only one that has uncommons in it that she would be in. The Ultra Recruit pack they updated recently, and they added Worf and Sela and Martok, Gowron, Tomalak, Bitor, and Bael. But there's no uncommons in this pack. So there are not ways to source Lursa shards. Now I know you might be asking yourself, well, who cares? Lursa's not that good, right? Well, that's true. She isn't that good. But what does she do? Minus 30% to cloaking cooldown when she's the captain. So your cloak doesn't take as long to regenerate. That could be okay for different hit and run PvP strategies. This one's actually not bad, her officer ability. Minus 30% to defending enemy player weapon damage. So now when you're attacking people, their player, PvP, their weapon damage is decreased by 30%. And if we go over to our friends at stfc.space and we look up Miss Lursa, the pride of Romulus, her base ability is minus 25%. Apparently mine is tiered up. Mine must be Lieutenant JG because she's at 30% there. Max ability is 70%, so it could be a 70% reduction if you had her maxed. But if you look at the other officers in her group, and you start to piece together what could we do, nope, it was lagging and I double clicked. Okay, so we come down here and look at the rest of her group. So Worf is with them. Lursa, Bator, Tomalak, and Sela are a group. She's the only one with this icon. They're both command. Bator has the this is the science one. She's got the engineering one. They've got the command one. So Bator's ability is really for the amalgam to boost its speed there. If you were having the amalgam cloaked and you had the amalgam cloaking and you could decrease its cooldown by 30% and then get some synergy from the other two, that could be very useful. Not great, not an everyday kind of thing, but it's like a one-off. Like if you're using your amalgam to raid something and you're cloaking it, then you don't want to wait as long to keep, if they're contesting it, that's an option for you. Like I said, you could do hit and run PvP tactics. And then for pairing it up with other people, if you had one of these guys as like the captain or something like that, now he's boosting weapon damage. I think Sela's the other one in that group. Probably just could have hit over. While cloaked, she increases the critical hit damage by 50%. She decreases their critical hit chance, so she's the anti-con, where a con gets his critical hit boosted every time you get hit. Sela takes it away. Not quite as good because the fights don't usually go that long, but again, in certain circumstances, it could work. Um, hey, Norwich, welcome to the channel. Olympus, you need exactly 9 shards to tier her up. Perfect. That's exactly what they gave you. They're giving you 9. Looking at what else we got here, we've got John Harrison. Now, this guy we know, this guy is great. 60% opponent's shield ignored for the first round. That's tier 1. Tier 1 Harrison. That's what he does right out of the box. 60% ignored. That will go up to 100% as he gets tiered. It's 10% each tier level. They are giving in the top half 8 Harrison shards. So it would get me closer. 8 Harrison shards are available in the top half. Lastly, we get to Jayla, who is good for the Franklin or the Franklin A, plus 100% resources from hostiles. Makes your hostile grinding a little bit smoother if you had her as captain. If you're trying to grind up a Franklin, getting Jayla early, not bad. So then you could max it out and scrap it. It'd be a little bit less killing you'd have to do. You're still going to have some issues you don't need necessarily. Like if you ran her as captain, you know, you could still put Strange New World Spock on a side. You could still put Tawan on a side. You don't necessarily, like, I mean, Pike is great, but, like, could a Jayla Spock combo kind of still work? And then you could perhaps reduce your grinding time quite a bit. Maybe. But the top half's only giving you 3 of her, and 3 ain't really doing a whole lot. Whether you're trying to unlock her or tier her up, 3's probably not making much of a difference. But there are a bunch more in the bottom half, and that's where the $10 that they're charging for the bottom half really come into play. Before I move on to that, also the top half has 1,600 Ultra Recruit tokens, so enough for 2 pulls, and 50 rare directives are hiding here. And then we also have a grand total of 1,700 Syndicate XP. 1,700 Syndicate XP, depending on your Syndicate level, could make a little bit of a difference. You know, most people get 200 to 250 per day, depending on, again, your level. So 1,700 is like a week faster toward your next level. Again, not bad. But then we get to the bottom half, the part that they're selling. You get an additional 21 Harrison shards, which for a lot of people would be enough to unlock him, or possibly tier him up. It would tier him up for me. Just from the other events and the pieces I picked up along the way, it would be enough to tier him up. There are no Lursa shards, as I mentioned, and then Jayla shards you get 14. Maybe that inches you a little bit closer. Maybe that is enough to unlock her. Maybe that's enough for you to tier her up. 14 Epic Officer shards. Not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it is maybe a step closer. The bottom half also contains 200 rare directives, so now you have enough for 1 regular rare armada or enough for 2 swarm armadas. If you have a Franklin A and you can get to those systems, you could run 2 swarm armadas to try and get additional Jayla shards. There's like a 1 in 5 chance that if you are the setter of the armada, the person who starts it, that your chest when you defeat the armada will contain Jayla shards. If it doesn't, it's giving you 4,000, I think it's 4,000 rare credits. Not a lot. I think it maxes out at I think 5,000 is what you need to get a box. I think that's what I'm at. I probably opened it today, so it won't let me look. But yeah, I think it's 30,000 for a 6 chest pull. The old Alliance tab here. rare Armada pack. These are 5,000 apiece when you're maxed out at 36, 38, whatever it caps out at. Before then, a little less, but chance at 4,000 rare credits, or I think it's 4 or 5 Jayla shards. I think it's 4. I want to say it's 4 Jayla shards. So, not great. But not bad. You know, you inch yourself a little closer to 2 officers, maybe to an upgrade. You get enough for a rare Armada. Maybe you can parlay that. You get a couple people together, kind of do a round robin kind of thing where everybody sets one in the group. So then you're participating in, 4 or 5 rare Armadas, getting more credits, more value, getting at least the 1 setter's chest as well. And then you get an additional 2,200 Syndicate XP. So for free, you got 1,700. You get 2,200 more in the bottom half. So now you're up to 3,900 Syndicate XP total. And that's not bad. It's not bad at all. If we're trying to put a numerical value on stuff like this, I believe there's a Syndicate pack. Let's see if I can find it. Whole bunch of primes, Armada directives, rare Armada pack. Let's just see what's in here. There's 250. So you get 250 for 20 bucks. Well, for 10 bucks you get 200, and they gave you 50 for free. You get the other 200. So just the Armada directives alone sort of give you value to some degree. You don't get Latinum, obviously, in the unlock pack. And then if you're looking at Syndicate XP, that's what I was trying to find, but we don't have a Syndicate pack up right now, I don't think. There's too many primes. Let's go through again, make sure I didn't miss it. Nope, no Syndicate packs. The $9.99 pack just gives you the Battle Pass and the multiphasic credits. Maybe we can do it this way. The multiphasic store does have a Syndicate booster pack. That is 500 for 570. It does also give you some dilithium and some gas to go along with it, and a little bit of latinum. But you're only getting 570 Syndicate XP, whereas in the bottom half of the Battle Pass, you're getting 2,200. So you're converting kind of all this stuff. So again, decent value right there for that. The rare directives, the Syndicate XP, the officer shards, all in total for $10 is pretty good value there. It's not a bad way to spend 10 bucks in the game, and it's only $10, which, hey, it's a microtransaction. It's a small little transaction that Scopely might have finally realized if they do some of these, people are more likely to buy it, and they'll end up coming up way more money than if they kept Trish trying to sell everything at this price. Because this $99 pack, let's take a look over here. I mean, obviously you get some faction credits, some recruit tokens. It's a good amount of these recruits and whatnot. If we look at like an officer pack, I think there's like an ultra recruit pack or something. $15,000 is what you would normally get for 100 bucks, along with, some resources, some badges, some latinum. But in this case, you're getting to pick the officers you're getting instead of just randomly opening packs. You are getting a third of Jayla, enough to unlock Harrison if you don't have him, and enough to unlock, and that might tier Lursa up. Yes, this gets her right to tier 2. It's 14 to unlock her and 30 to tier her up. So for that path, right there, you're instantly getting a tier 2 Lursa. Now, she's not that great of an officer, but having her already tiered up makes her slightly more valuable. Some premium tokens, not bad. Ultra Recruit 12,000 is pretty good. That's 15 chest pulls, or 12 if you're going after like the Barclay pack. Speaking of the Barclay pack, I've been averaging about 2 Barclays per pull. Talking about this exclusive Barclay thing. I've been getting between, when I do a 5 chest pull on this, I've been getting between 4 and 6 Barclays. So it's a little more than 1 per chest. So you see I'm already up to 60. I need 55 to go. If I got 12 more pulls, that might get me a bit closer. Might be something I would consider. It's not. I'm not going to do it, but it's at least making it a little bit more appealing when you're thinking about in the grand scheme of things in the big picture. Like, what else could I get from this? When they have things like this, just ultra recruits, obviously getting, 12,000 is 15 chest pulls. There's all kinds of good officers in here. It's just rares and epics. And then you go back and you look at what else is in that pack. 3 officers, 2,000 faction credits, 30,000 Latinum. Not great. It's okay. 4,000 multi-phaser credits if you're buying through the web store is really nice, though. Because that gets you plenty of other packs there. That's 8 additional bonuses you could get with the multi-phasic credits. You could come in here, use your multi-phasic credits, and get 8 chests and try and get some more Lurka shards, because that's what they're running right now. You got a 50-50 shot at pulling rares or epics. That's all that's in here, are the rares and epic officers. But they do water it down with some other regular officers as well, so it's not just the Discovery crew. It's part of the Discovery crew, and then a whole bunch of the standard fare of regular officers. But even in here, if you're like, I need some stuff for my interceptors, well, here's some 4-star materials. Here's some Latinum. Here's some Tritanium. Obviously this stuff scales based on your level. Even if you just went for recruit packs or independent recruit packs for independent credits, get some more Ultra Recruit tokens out of it. If you got 8 of these packs, you'd get another 4,000 Ultra Recruits. Give you 4 more box pulls. Or 5, depending on which one you're going for. So that's for going through the web store and getting the bonus that way. So overall, I feel like the Battle Pass, the Flash Pass, the $9.99 one, I think it's worth it. The $100 one, I don't think this is a $100 pack. I think it comes up a little bit short of a $100 pack. I get where they're coming from with the value, because they sell 38 Harrison shards, which is enough to unlock him, for $50 without much other fanfare. So now we're giving you that, plus all these Jayla shards. Well, of course we got to double the cost, and we'll try and sweeten the pot a little bit with some extra recruit tokens and whatnot. I don't know that I'd pay $100 for this stuff. I don't know that it's enough of a necessity to the game. Harrison is a necessity for PvP. Jayla for swarms, she's good, but she's not outstanding. And now with the Strange New World crew, like, she's a good 3rd officer with Pike, Spock and Jayla. But there's a small little window in there, because the lower level ones, you're still getting better value with Talon or Kath. Kath's better than Talon. Still don't have a way to source her. And then the higher value ones, you can use Jayla. She's very good for that. But you can also use Khan. And when you keep running these heavy hitter events where people have to grind swarms, they're using Khan instead of Jayla in that spot and doing pretty well with it. So that kind of crew has become also a good daily crew. Pike, Spock, and Khan for killing high-level swarms. So Jayla doesn't have quite as much value as she once did. If she's tiered up a few times and she's not getting just one extra bonus shot, because that's what she does, this plus one shot, um, you know, not that big a deal. Plus two shots per round, plus three shots per round, that might be a much bigger difference and earn her her spot back. But it's going to take you a while to get there. So that's kind of the where I'm at with that. So that's my take. $10 for the flash pass, pretty good value there. Just in the bottom half, getting the rare directives alone is basically worth the $10, and the syndicate XP. Getting the extra officer shards is just sort of gravy on top of that. If you need those numbers again, bam, there you go. This is what you get for free. 9 Lursa, 8 Harrison, 3 Jayla shards, 600 premium recruits, 1600 ultra recruits, 1700 syndicate XP, 50 rare directives. That's for free. You're getting that regardless of what you buy or don't buy. The pay path here, $10, 21 Harrison shards, 14 Jayla shards, pretty good. No extra recruit tokens, but you do get at least, 200 rare Armada directives. Let's do that. 200 rare Armada directives and 2,200 more Syndicate XP. If you haven't maxed your Syndicate out already, which apparently some of those, whales have, which is why they got their own separate event last month. So that's where we're at with that. Olympus says the only reason he spent the $10 is that it'll unlock Harrison for him, basically 50% of the normal Harrison pack cost. Harrison pack is normally $50. Damn, yes, Harrison is normally $50. He used to be $100, and they used to not sell him very frequently, but I guess they felt the demand for him was dropping as enough players had acquired him already, that they lowered that pack price earlier this year. I think he showed up after not showing up for a very long time. They put that pack out, February, March, somewhere in that spring time area, and it was a $49.99 pack for Harrison, and it was like a limit 2 kind of thing, where like you couldn't just keep buying it to get him to tier him up. It was a $50 pack, and I think it was limited to either 1 or 2 purchases. So, getting a big chunk of extra shards for that officer for just $10 doesn't seem like a bad way to go. Like, for me, I think it would tear him up. Because the 8 in the top half doesn't quite do it for me. It gets me to 50 out of 57. But the bottom half does. And then my Harrison goes from 60% shields being ignored in round 1 to 70% being ignored in round 1. So it's a lot less damage getting stopped by the shield in round 1. And when you start to combo that up with other PvP officers, he's a great base cracker. Pair him up with Harry Mudd, where you get the extra shots, and Rom giving you extra shots, and Harrison, now you're ignoring their shields with those extra shots. If Mudd procs, you could just take the safe route and just throw Honor Guard Worf in the 3rd slot. So now Rom is giving you extra shots when you're firing at the base. Harrison's ignoring the shields, so you're getting through, destroying some of those, small little defense ships in round number 1. And Worf is hopefully making sure more of those shots are criticals. Again, depending on what crews they happen to be running. If you see them sitting there with TOS Uhura, okay, well, Worf's not going to do anything in that situation, so maybe that's an opportunity where you give Mudd a try. Just see if maybe he does go off and get you those extra shots. So yeah, for $10, there's some good value there for sure. And it's a reasonable price, and it's kind of what we've been asking them to do for a while now, which is have packs that aren't catering just people who have big chunks of money to spend. Uh, you know, $10. That's like skip lunch one day this week or something like that, right? What's a value meal at a fast food restaurant? Probably about $10. So make a peanut butter sandwich, have that for lunch instead. For 45 cents at home, and skip the fast food meal, and there's the $10 that you just saved, and now you can buy the $10 pack. It's like back when you were in school, right? Your parents gave you lunch money, but like you wanted something really bad, so you just ate like a snack for lunch and then saved the extra money that from you had left over from what they gave you, and just saved up for a few extra days, and we're like, oh, now I've got the money to buy the thing I want. Baseball card, comic book, toy, action figure, whatever it was. Video game. I don't know, depending on what age bracket you're in, I guess is what you bought. But I'm sure we all did something like that. I know I did. What are you going to have for lunch? I'm going to have a cup of water and a bag of potato chips. And I'm going to call that lunch for today. And I'm going to pocket the extra, couple of bucks. And I'm going to do that for for 2 or 3 days. And now I got $10 at the end of the week, and now I can go buy, a couple of comic books. Anybody else do that? Just me? Can't just be me.